welcome to the Carbonite Jedi, where the Force will be with you always. In today's video, I'm going to be looking at an article that one of my friends sent me and thought it was very interesting. And when I saw the title, I did too. It's from boundingintocomics.com, and it's May 17th, 2023. So that was like a day ago. It says, let me pull this up. Present, let's share screen. Share. There it is. All right, it says, and we have here, before it's I say what it says, we see it has Ahsoka on it. It says, a new rumor appears to provide more evidence that Dave Filoni is replacing original Star Wars characters with his Star Wars Rebels characters. I will give you my opinion after we read this article, okay? Okay, come on. Let me do slide it like this. Okay, a new rumor claims to reveal that the title of Dave Filoni's recently announced theatrical film that is supposed to connect to shows like The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and Ahsoka. It's supposed to connect those. This rumor, if true, also appears to be more evidence that Filoni will be placing his Star Wars Rebels characters into the role of the original trilogy characters such as Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia. This new rumor comes from the scooper My Time to Shine, H, who seemingly got the recent Mila Kunis as Thing in the Fantastic Four scoop wrong. Nevertheless, the scooper said, shocker, not really, Dave Filoni's movie is called Star Wars Heir to the Empire. He also added, Jon Favreau is only producing for now. It's all Filoni. And there he shows his little blurb. As My Time to Shine Age notes, it would not be a shocker that the movie would be titled Star Wars Heir to the Empire. Rumors about Lucasfilm adapting Zahn's Heir to the Empire go back to 2021, and I remember seeing the book and reading about it, and I actually saw it at the bookstores on the shelf. Scooper Mickey Sutton at Geekosity Mag detailed back then that both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni were working on adapting the novel trilogy as part of their ongoing The Mandalorian series on Disney+. However, he explained it wouldn't be a direct adaptation at the time. Heir to the Empire won't be interpreted exactly how it is on the printed page, but its shadow will be looming over the show. So, if that's the case, then we'll probably, hopefully, see more Luke Skywalker unless they totally revamp this book. Sutton even noted in his 2021 scoop that the adaptation might be turned into a theatrical release. One insider said he wouldn't be surprised if the endgame of The Mandalorian putting together his team of galactic ragtag comic Avengers will result in a theatrical film named after Heir to the Empire. And there's the book. It was released by Dark Horse Comics. I think, yeah, it was a book by Timothy Zahn, and I think they also had a comic book series, if I'm not mistaken. However, what is interesting about My Time to Shine's new scoop about Filoni's film is that fellow scooper WDW Pro claims it's another piece of evidence that Lucasfilm is trying to marginalize Luke Skywalker and the original trilogy characters in favor of Dave Filoni's Star Wars Rebel characters, which I hope they don't. WDW Pro explains, here's what I think is happening. Yet again, we're seeing Dave Filoni come in and put his characters, his creations in place of the characters that we all want to see, which I love Dave Filoni, but I have to agree with that. What do people want to see? They want to see Luke Skywalker. WDW Pro continues, that's what they want to see. Are they going to get Luke Skywalker? No. They're going to get the name of a book that prominently featured him, and it's going to be another bait and switch where we replace the character with characters of lesser interest. Who knows how interesting the Mandalorian characters will be by the time we get here, he questioned. I have no idea, but interest is dropping, I can tell you that. Later in the video, WDW Pro opines, fans want Luke Skywalker. They want Luke Skywalker in a heroic fashion. Disney purchased Star Wars to have the Star Wars characters, but for whatever reason, Disney seems to desire not to use them. Instead, they're putting these B-tier characters, I can't argue with this, in the place of Luke Skywalker in yet another movie, he continues. We've already watched The Last Jedi. We don't need to see it again. Amen, brother. We know what it feels like to have a character should not replace Luke do so. And I don't see how having Dave Filoni do it once more, replacing Luke and the other characters with his own creations, even if Ahsoka is cool, even if we like The Mandalorian and Baby Grogu, those are not the characters who should be at the prominence in a movie called Heir to the Empire. That should be true to the novel, either that or remove the name, he declares. Baby Grogu, there it is. Stopping the fire. And if Disney continues to do so, which they seem to be determined to do, then we will continue to see more dropping of Disney Plus and the Disney box office, he predicts. He goes on, Disney needs consumers and consumers need popular characters, and Disney does not want to give us that. Until they change that plan, until they step aside from divisive content and divisive messaging and putting stuff into children's programmings that parents don't want, then Disney will continue to drop. That's just the way it is. What do you make of WDW's speculation that the rumor Heir to the Empire is more evidence that Filoni is replacing classic Star Wars characters like Luke Skywalker with his Star Wars Rebels and the Mandalorian characters? And that's it. First of all, let me get rid of this. All right. So first of all, I am excited to see the Ahsoka series. I'm excited to see the Rebels come in. But I honestly think that if you're going to make a movie called Heir to the Empire, it should be Luke Skywalker, because that's what Timothy Zahn wrote. That's what the comic book series is. And basically, he is the heir to the Empire, if you think about it. Because, I mean, probably have some kind of like argument that maybe Rey might be, but it would be Luke Skywalker. He's heir to the Empire. Even though they killed him off, maybe they can find some way to like bring him back, you know, without the zombiness of the Emperor, where he's like full in the flesh and ready to rock and roll. I mean, even if they had to do a CGI Luke Skywalker that they bring back, like they did in the Book of Boba Fett, I think I just hate to see them killing off all the OG characters from Star Wars. The guys in the article hit the nail on the head. Disney purchased Star Wars, and everybody wants to see Luke Skywalker. They want to see all the OG characters like Han Solo and Princess Leia, but you know, they killed everybody off. Even though, you know, unfortunately Carrie Fisher passed away, which I'm so sad. If she hadn't been there, she still would have passed away. So there are no, I mean, besides Chewbacca and the droids, I mean, and Lando, but Lando really, he was like a satellite character orbiting the main characters, and you just can't kill him off and expect to have the same reaction as everybody did with like the main movies. It's just mind-blowing. And they want to take a book and readapt it to these characters that we don't have as much vested emotional interest in as we did with Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia and Han Solo, you know, blowing up the Death Star, you know, surviving the Death Star, you know, going to Hoth, going to Tatooine to rescue Han Solo, all these things. And they're just, I mean, Ahsoka, we've seen her, what, twice in Book of Boba Fett? We saw her once in The Mandalorian, once in the Book of Boba Fett. So, and then she, you know, I guess they're expecting everybody to have watched the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels to know about Ahsoka. Which, honestly, I'm having a hard time getting through the Clone Wars. I'm probably about 3/4 of the way through, and I'm forcing myself to watch it. It's a very, very long series, and it seems like at the very beginning, the first 2 to 3 seasons, it's just the same thing. It's a battle against Geonosis. It's a battle here. It's a battle here. You know, and they have these battles, and then they finally started doing other things besides battles, which make it a little bit more interesting. But still, it's still a long, long series. And then I have to watch Rebels after that, and then I have to watch The Bad Batch. I started watching The Bad Batch a while ago, but there's so much content they're putting out, and I think that people get overwhelmed. When I was little, it was Star Wars came out, and you had it for 2-3 years, and you got to let it percolate, and then Empire Strikes Back came out. Then you had 2 things, Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back, and then the Return of the Jedi came out, and it was like a climatic ending to this series, and you didn't know if they were ever going to come out with another movie or not. So you didn't have all this extra stuff. I know they had comic books that came out and stuff, but you know, and then the books, but there weren't like movies and stuff except for the holiday special, and it was very special. But anyway, I'm rambling. I feel Dave Filoni created a baby. He created his own little baby, Star Wars Rebels, with his own little characters, and he wants to make them grow and push them out, you know, and that's fine. Do that. Maybe make a Rebels Disney Plus live action, but don't make Heir to the Empire and then put those people in there expecting them to fill the roles of the book. You know, create your own book and do that. If you're going to do Heir to the Empire, stay true to Timothy Zahn. Do what you're supposed to do and get the original characters in there, and then I'm sure you'll have people coming back. I mean, look at the Mandalorian Season 2 ending. How fantastic was that? When Luke Skywalker showed up, people lost their minds. They lost their freaking minds. I mean, I was watching all the reactions on video on how excited people were. I mean, after that bombshell movie, you know, The Last Jedi, you know, they kill off Luke. Spoiler alert. They kill off Luke, and people were just like devastated. And then you come back to The Mandalorian, and all of a sudden there he is, flying in his TIE fighter with R2. He comes in, he kicks some robot butt, and it looks just like Luke, and he talks like Luke, and it was it sends shivers up my spine right now just thinking about it. I love that scene. I'd go back and watch it now. I might do that after this video. But yeah, and then the other scene in the Book of Boba Fett when Luke is training, you know, Grogu. That was fantastic. I basically watched the whole season of the Book of Boba Fett, and that was the highlight of my whole season, was seeing Luke Skywalker sit there and show Grogu how to levitate frogs, and showed him Yoda's sword. Oh man, that was heartbreaking, Yoda's sword. But you know, he was 900 years old. Anywho, that's all I'll have to say about this. What do you think about this article? Do you even care if Filoni like replaces all the characters from the original movies? They're just wiping them out. I don't know. It's like Game of Thrones. If you haven't, go check out my shorts. I have over 215. I think I'm at 218 right now. And they talk about every single facet of the Star Wars movies and facts you might not know. But give me a comment below. Let me know what you think about this article. Do you care if they replace them? Are you mad? Are you happy? You know? Well, that's it for me. But come back for more sci-fi and Star Wars content. And may the Force be with you always. See you later.